Has there ever been a country that experienced the reverse of inflation? The opposite of inflation is deflation. The price of the goods will go down. The reason, often due to low birth rates. Indeed, the birth rate is not the only factor. Singapore and Hong Kong also have low birth rates, but still experience inflation. Japan is a unique country. The level of spending of its citizens is quite low, even though the income is large. They only buy the things they need. The rest, they save. Even the level of investment, buying shares, in Japan is also low. They prefer to save their money. Everyone likes saving, the government is also confused. Until the bank interest rate in Japan is already using the negative interest rate. The longer you save, the less money. For example, borrowing money from a bank, when returning the total money it can be below the total money borrowed, provided it is not a consumptive loan. Confused or not? Negative interest rates are not working in Japan. Then why does the fall in the birth rate lead to deflation? I don't want to discuss why the birth rate has dropped, but the impact it has. Let's say the birth rate drops from 1,000 units to 800 units. Over time, the babies born will become cute babies. In the past, when the birth rate was still 1,000, there were so many babies. However, when the birth rate became 800, over the next few years, the number of babies was noticeably reduced. Who was the first to feel the impact? Manufacturers of clothes for babies, young children who are feeling it for the first time. Then, the school also started to feel the impact. School competition and competing for students has become so wild, while students find it easier to enter schools of perhaps standard quality. There are also schools that only have one new student in their academic year because of this. You already know the story. When they got older, the Japanese railroad had to make a special schedule that was tailored to the child so that he was not late for school. So, what are the implications? Well, you have been told earlier that the baby clothes manufacturers were the first to be affected. Furthermore, maybe manufacturers of children's toys, books, bags will also be affected. Then, clothes and pants for adults, cosmetics, etc. also going down. Why so? Because consumers are reduced due to falling birth rates. As a result, companies with similar products will compete for consumers whose numbers are decreasing. Moreover, Japanese people in general are the type of people who only spend money on necessary goods. The most classic way to increase the number of consumers is to lower prices. However, if firm A lowers its price, firm B that sells similar products will do the same. Likewise with company C, D, etc. From this it can be seen, the longer the price drops, because the producers are waging a price war. This is a simple explanation of deflation. At first glance, it looks like consumers are benefiting. Yes, because the price is competitive. The problem is, this is a pseudo-illusion. Lowering the price means that the company will experience a decrease in profits. For that, the company will make savings. How? By laying off some employees, using part-time staff, using outsourcing services, using Yakuza services. This is difficult to tell, to automating the process with robots. In short, there will be layoffs. Even people who keep working will work like horses. For people who are laid off they lose their income, which means the loss of corporate customers. Those who are still working will work hard because they are afraid of being laid off. When they get home they are very tired. Do they want to make a child with exhausted energy? Impossible. Those who are laid off can just make children, but they do not have the courage because of the lack of funds to care for the children. Whether they are still working or who have been laid off, whichever it is, they will worry about having children, for different reasons. The birth rate will get even lower, and the vicious cycle will continue. In fact, some companies still have to pay credit to banks. Usually, the guarantee is property. As a rule, property prices will always go up, but in parts of Japan property prices have also fallen. Only 20 cities have increased property values. Now back to the company, which obtained a loan by collateralizing the land. But what happens if the collateral value shrinks? Companies will be forced to pay loans faster, especially if the total credit has a value above the value of the assets pledged as collateral. In fact, the company's income has decreased. The company got dizzy, the government got dizzy, everyone got confused. Many layoffs, who still work like Ramusha in their own country. Many people are stressed. There are those who commit suicide, some are stressed and then kill others, some are mentally disturbed, some are looking for other ways to relieve stress, such as going to a park, eating, playing games, watching an anime, or some who do demo. The demands of the demonstrations in Japan also shocked others. The point is that some countries are experiencing deflation, and this is giving the Japanese government a headache. An easy solution is to raise taxes. But this creates new problems, so the government has to be creative.